Hello all and welcome to Crochet Designs. My name is Mary, coming to you with step 7 of our 12-step transition blanket. Get excited. Get excited, guys. Now, step 7, very simple, just a matter of count once again, but it's an easy count. It's not a difficult count. Just get way too excited, yeah? And also remember, at the end of this tutorial, do not cut this thread. Okay, so heads up. So where we started from was step 1 was the white, or the cream, I should say. Step 2 was lemon. Step 3 was yellow. Step 4 was this dark orangey, almost brown. Step 5 was the red. Step 6 was the maroon. And step 7 is back to red. So we've gone from lights to darks and now darks to lights. All right, and this is step 7. Gorgeous. You'll get to see a close-up of it when we're doing our tutorial anyways, and I probably have a picture of it in the beginning where the promo is anyways. So there you go. In the meantime, guys, we are going to be doing step 7. Now, step 7, you are going to be joining the red again. And remember, do not cast your thread off at the end of this tutorial, because we're going to come back next month and then use this thread to finalize one more row. Okay, so don't cast your thread off at the end of this row. Without further ado, I'm going to let you get started creating step 7 of our 12-step transition blanket. Good luck all. Alrighty guys, where I left you off in part 6, we completed our rows for part 6, and I asked you to get to the end of the row. You could have cut your thread, it doesn't matter. We are changing colors back to the red, because now we're transitioning back all the way to our brighter colors. So we went from light all the way into the dark, and now we're going from dark all the way into the light. However, if you are still just using one color, by all means continue on doing a standing double crochet or a stacked single crochet in the next row. But for the rest of us whom are changing our colors, and again, you can change your colors how you like. This is the way I do it. I literally do it at the end of the row by not finishing that stitch, popping the colour in the back of my hand there, grabbing my new colour and finishing it off with my new colour. All right. This, if you have another way you like to add your colour, by all means do that. Yeah. Hold everything at the back, chain 1, turn your work, and do a standing double crochet in that same stitch that you are in, or a stacked single crochet, whatever you want to call it. Pull the loop through. You've got your 2 loops, yarn over, pull through both loops. Into the side base loop, pull a loop through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through both those loops. Don't lose a stitch like I just did, and grab your stitch marker and pop it in that stitch. Now you know that. We always do that at the beginning of each row. All right, so here we are, and we're going to continue with our double crochets, because that's what we do for the first row. We do our double crochets in every stitch all the way across. Gorgeous. I don't think you need me to show you this. You've done double crochets in our piece over and over again in the past. So your job now is to double crochet into every stitch all the way until you get to that very last stitch marker. Go ahead and do that off air. Meet me back here once you're done, and then we will talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of this row, and do your last double crochet in the top stitch as you've been doing all along there. Remove your stitch marker for a minute, and you should have 129 double crochets across, or 129 stitches across. Make sure you count them before you continue, and let's move on. All right, so from here we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. All right, you can do your standing double crochet or your stacked single crochet, or by the way guys, you can also do your chain 3 if you don't like this stitch. It can be a little bit fussy, the stitch. I like it because it makes it look better. I just think it gives it a better look, but I don't use it for everything, but for some projects I do. All right, so now we're going to pop a double crochet into your next stitch like so. I think you know what you're doing here, because we pretty much start our project with 2 rows of double crochet, and then we just continue all the way across the piece until we get to the end of the row. Alright, so your job, and I'm sure you know what you're doing, absolutely, is to do your double crochets into every stitch, get all the way to the very end right there, pop your last one in the second last stitch there, meet me there once you're done, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here I am at the end of the row. You may notice some stitch markers here. They were just to keep count of my stitches. Now know that you should still have 129 stitches across. We're going to complete our last double crochet in the top stitch of our stitch marker stitch, yeah? And then you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. So chain 1 and turn your work. And then you're going to pop a single crochet only in that very first stitch. So pop your hook in, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both those loops, pop your stitch marker in that single crochet. So we're not doing a standing double or a stacked single, we're just doing a single crochet. And then you're going to do a single crochet into the next. So stitch right there, pop your hook in, pull a loop through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through. And do it again into the very next, and again into the next, and again, and so forth, all the way across your piece. You are going to fly through this row, all right? So that's your job, guys, to do a single crochet into every stitch all the way across. Do that off air. Meet me right here once you're done, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of the row again. Once again, I've got stitch markers here, but you should have 129 stitches in the row. And what were we doing? We were doing single crochets all the way across. So you're going to do a single crochet into your last stitch like so. Remove that stitch marker. Hold it there for a moment. Chain 1, turn your work. And again, you can either chain 3 or do your standing double crochet or your stacked single crochet. I'm going to do my standing double crochet, stacked single crochet. Oops, and I've split the yarn. Good on you, man. Let's try that again. Like so. Pop your stitch marker in there. And in the very next stitch, you are doing a double crochet, just a normal double crochet. And then you're going to skip 2 stitches and place a double crochet into your third. So you've got your yarn over your hook, you skip 1, 2, place a double crochet into that third stitch, like so. And in the same stitch, you're placing another double crochet, like so. Chain 2, 1 and 2. And 2 more double crochets in the same stitch, 1 and 2. All right, so you've got your 2 double crochets, skip 2, and you've placed a cluster set of 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets in your third stitch there. But from now on, you're going to skip 3. So you go 1, 2, 3. You go into your 4th stitch with one of those cluster sets of 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Chain 1 and 2 and 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. And guess what? That is your pattern all the way across. You skip 3, you place that cluster set into your 4th stitch, like so. Yarn over your hook, skip 1, 2, 3, and a big cluster set of 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets, all in the 4th stitch. All right, it's a super duper easy pattern, and that's all you're doing all the way across. 1, 2, 3 into the 4th with 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. All right, simple row as well. So very basic. This is what you're going to do off air. I'm not going to sit here and watch me do it. It'll take forever. You are skipping 3 stitches and place 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets in your 4th stitch. And that is what you're doing all the way across. Always one big cluster set like that in the 4th stitch. All the way across. Get to your last cluster set, and then you should have 4 stitches remaining. What you need to do is place your last cluster set in your 5th last stitch, and then once you get there, wait for me there and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of the row, and I asked you to place your last cluster set in your 5th last stitch. You're going to skip 1 and 2 and do a double crochet into the 2nd last stitch and a double crochet into your last stitch. Now if your work does not add up to having the last 4 stitches, then check where you may have decreased or accidentally increased, and then repair it and come back here, because this is the way this is supposed to look here. And both sides need to be exactly the same. So you've got your last cluster set, and then you've got your chain 2 space there, and then you've got your 2 double crochets. So they should marry the same. All right. And now all you're going to do is chain 1, flip your work like you've been doing all along, and place your, let's remove that stitch marker for a minute, your standing double crochet or your stacked single crochet or even a chain 3 in that 1st stitch. So 1 right there. Okay, pop your stitch marker in, and here you're going to pop another double crochet on top of your stitch or your next double crochet, and then you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to skip 1 and 2, and in your chain 2 space you're going to place 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Easy. Chain 1, always chain 1 after your 5, yeah? Skip 1, 2, 3 and 4 stitches, jump into your chain 2 space with 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Chain 1. That's pretty much your pattern all the way across. So chain 1, skip 1, 2, 3, 4 and pop 5 double crochets in the chain 2 space like so. 2, 3, 4 and 5. Super duper easy row. Okay, so that's pretty much it. How pretty is it looking so far? So you're chaining 1, we'll do that now. We'll do one more set, all right? And this is the repeat across. So you chain 1, you skip 1, 2, 3, 4, and you do 5 double crochets in your chain 2 space. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, super easy. I think you can do this on your own. Okay, so your job now, if I can get it sorted out, your job now is to do just that. Chain 1, skip 4, 5 double crochets in the chain space. Chain 1, skip 4, 5 in the space. Chain 1, skip 4, 5 in the space, and so on all the way across. Get to your last space there, do your 5 double crochets. Wait for me there once you're done, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, so here we are at the end of the row. Now I forgot to mention before, but you would have had 31 cluster sets across, yeah, and 32 chain spaces across. All right, so let's move right along. Now, if you haven't completed your last cluster set, do that now and then chain 1. And then once again, you want to do the same as you did at the end, yeah, where you just put a double crochet, you skip your first stitch and you just put a double crochet into that second last double crochet, and then a double crochet into your last stitch with your stitch marker in it. Okay, like so. Super easy, yeah? Next row, even easier. Chain 1, turn your work. And now you're going to pop a single crochet only in the first stitch, like so. Pop your stitch marker in there. Single crochet into the very next stitch. Right into the stitch. It's a little awkward because it's near the chain space. And in that chain space, you're popping a single crochet right over the stitch in the space, like so. Now we're going to chain 5, skip your 5 double crochets and pop a single crochet in the next space, or the chain 1 space. So chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet in that chain 1 space, like so. So what you've got is that little space there. Chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip your 5 double crochets, single crochet in the chain 1 space. It's super easy, yeah? Chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip the 5 and single into the chain 1 space. Chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 5 and single crochet in the chain 1 space. I don't think I need to show you how simple it is. All right, very, very simple. Gorgeous. Now what you're going to do, chain 5, skip 5, single crochet, chain 1 space. Chain 5, skip 5, single crochet, chain 1 space, all the way across. Get to your last cluster set, do your single crochet before it, chain 5 and a single crochet into that space after your cluster set. Meet me there once you're done and then we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of this row. Get excited, we're almost finishing our repeats, but not yet, almost. All right, so I asked you to get to your last set. You did your single crochet, chain 5, skipped over your 5 double crochets, single crochet in the last space, and then you single crochet into each stitch across, so 1 and then 2. And that's pretty much it for this row. Remove your stitch marker, chain 1, turn your work. If you can. It's getting big, the blanket. It's hard to turn. All right. So now we're going to pop a single crochet in the same space we're in and place our stitch marker again. Oops, don't drop it. Like so. And then single into the very next stitch. There. And then we're going to skip that single crochet. And in this space, we are popping 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, all over those stitches, yeah, around the stitches, 3, and 4. And here's the pattern across. Skip 1, 4 single crochets in your next space. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip 1, 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, don't think I need to show you the rest. It's very simple, very, very simple. All you're doing is skipping your single crochet. Let me get that thread out the way. Skipping your single crochet, 4 single crochets into the next. Skip 4, skip 4, skip 4, all the way across. Get to your last set. Pop your 4 single crochets in there. Meet me there once you're done, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here I am at the end of this row. Get way too excited. Way too excited. Alright, so we are now officially here. I have done my 4 single crochets in that space. I'm going to skip the first single crochet, jump into the next with a single crochet, and then 1 into the last with a single crochet. Remove that stitch marker, chain 1, turn your work, and place your standing double crochet or stacked single crochet in that stitch like so. Pop your stitch marker back in there and double crochet into the very next stitch right there. Gorgeous. Like so. Skip 1 stitch, and in the next stitch you're placing your cluster sets that you did before. So we're skipping 1 and we're going into the very next. So skip, go into the very next and doing 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Oh, let's put the yarn straight again. 2, chain 1 and 2, and 2 double crochets all in the same stitch. Like so, okay? So it's kind of almost above, not directly yet. Once we move it all over, it will be. So yarn over your hook. Now you're skipping 1, 2, 3 and into your 4th stitch with a cluster set of 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain 1 and 2 and 2 double crochets. All right, so you skip 1, 2, 3 into your 4th with 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 and 2 double crochets. That's pretty much the pattern all the way across. All right, my blanket's all twisted and turned here. So, very, very simple task you have now is to repeat just that pattern all the way across by skipping 3 and placing your cluster set of 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets into your 4th. So continue doing that all the way across and you should land pretty much almost in the center of that previous section. All right, oops, I might have been in frame. Almost in the center. All right, so keep doing that all the way across. Get to your very last set right here, complete it, and wait for me there, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of this row. Get excited. Get excited, and I'll explain why in a minute. You would have done your last set in this big space here, and what I want you to do is go 1, 2, and then jump into your very 3rd one and do a double crochet, and 1 into your last. Remove your stitch marker and get ready for some instructions. All right, so that is actually the end of our pattern for this piece. Oh, how gorgeous is it? I'm loving this one. This is absolutely stunning. All right, but what I want you to do is to repeat the last 4 rows. Now, I'll give you a time up here later for you to go to, and it's starting from your big cluster set row, okay? So it's the 1, the chain space section, 2, the single crochet section 3, and then this section here 4. Okay, so you're going to repeat the last 4 rows, And when you get to the very, very end of your piece, I want you to hold it there. Don't cut your thread because we are going to add another row next month, all right? So go ahead now and do these last 4 sets one more time, then meet me back here for step 8. And there you have it, guys. That was step 7 of our 12-step transition blanket. You need to repeat the last 4 rows, and I'll pop a time here now and also at the end of this tutorial of where you need to go back to. Repeat the last 4 rows one more time. Don't cut your yarn. Keep your yarn attached, yeah? Meet me back here on the 7th of August, and we will be we'll be creating step 8 of our 12-step transition blanket, all right? The other thing too, guys, if you're interested in what I'm wearing today, both items, this is the Hexagon Cardigan, which we created on the channel a few months back, and maybe last year, I can't remember. And this is our gorgeous bucket hat that we also created. This was only a month or so ago that we created our bucket hat as well. So if you are interested in any of these items that I'm wearing right now, I've left links to these items in the description box down below, or the more section down below. Very first 2 links you see. Click on one of those and you can create these ones as well. The third link you see will be the playlist to our blanket. So if you haven't started our blanket right from the beginning all the way up to now, it is an annual project, so you'll be getting an installment once a month. But if you haven't started it, click on that playlist and go right down to the base and work your way all the way up to the top where we are right now. It's very exciting. Very, very exciting. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. Don't forget to repeat the last 4 rows one more time. Don't cast your yarn. Meet me back here on the 7th of August, first Thursday of the month, as it's been all along, and we will do step 8 of our 12-step transition blanket. Thank you for joining me. My name is Mary, and this is Wow Crochet Designs. Ciao for now.